Yeah. Hello, everyone. How are you all? That sounds reasonable. I have a lot of things that cycle. It's probably a bad match for us already. Kind of don't want to get rid of the cast out because Scarab God deck probably. I have a lot of answers for creatures already though. Don't want to counterspell that. It's just card search. It's just about land draws right now. Fortunately, it's really hard for us to beat a Scarab God if they play well. It's like really hard. We're currently just waiting on opponent. Hey, well, we're gonna have to get some lands. Don't really want to cast Glimmer just into a Censor. And we need to land bad enough that I can cycle the cast out even though I don't want to. This match is often a lot about who misses their land drops and stuff. Which is unfortunate for us that we even have to try to cast a Glimmer right now. Oh, well. He very quickly let it resolve. We're kind of playing a different game than he is. In the sense that we don't really care what he casts. Whereas he cares much more about what we cast. It's kind of odd that he'd counterspell that. Guess it works out for him because we don't hit a land, but in general, I think that was a pretty poor play by him. Also kind of weird that he wouldn't attack. It's not like attacking will ever get better in the entire game. It's always going to be exactly what it was that turn. Scarab God at the moment could be kind of peculiar. Be a little hard to beat. Either way, we're just playing approach next turn. You know, if our opponent will ever let us take the turn. Want to keep taking these awkward pauses? Would really like to hit the land so we can just play approach. Ew, reading. Couldn't pay me to read that stuff. Seems like a pretty crappy set so far. Like, some of the cards are cool, but like none of them seem as powerful as just like Teamer Energy or Red Deck Winds to me. I have no idea how I'm just a minute or just 2 minutes faster than this opponent. Feel like we've played a lot faster than him. I have to discard this turn, I guess. Wonder why they're still waiting to attack. Yeah, we'll cast this. Don't care if it gets counterspelled. This is not our only win condition. We have Fumigates. It gives us a nice little life. She could be. Hard to tell. If it's Glimmer, he put on top bottom. So he at least wanted one of them. Probably a land then. Yeah, might as well get this off the table. Not really doing anything else with our land, so. And we do have a Supreme Will. to use on a Scarab God, which he could still resolve, but like that lets us get the cast out in. Not going to cycle any more cast outs because of the Scarab God stuff. Let's say we've seen the majority of the good cards. We might have till the end of this week on Ixalan. Guess it can resolve. It's actually pretty good for him. He pressed F6. Well, that's one god down. 2 to go, maybe. Sometimes 1. Still has 7 cards in his hand, but all his removal is useless versus me. All my removal has some uses versus him, even though, like, it's not great. He just has too many mana. Don't care where the approach is now. Could get ourselves in bad shapes just slamming the approach here. Need him to tap mana for something like another Scarab God or something, and then we can try. There will be Drowned Catacomb and Choke. No, there'll be Drowned Catacomb and Fetid Pulls. This one. So there'll still be 2. There may be some come into play tapped common or uncommon ones that I don't remember as well. But there'll at least be the 2 rares. So we knew that was going to be an approach. Opponent's at 30 cards, 29 with the draw step. It's kind of the entire plan is just to mill him, so. This is kind of boring for a game 1, but everything's still currently going as planned. Scarab God's a hard card to beat, though. That's a good one. I thought about changing out this Cataract for another Rivulet before we started today, and looks like I already wish I had. What do you tap 2 mana for? I think he tapped 2 mana to try to cycle the Fetid Pulls, and then accidentally played it. I guess we have to start casting these now, just because this is what I would discard this turn anyway. Don't expect it to resolve. Probably won't fight for it to resolve. But like I said, it's what I wanted to discard anyway, so... If I wanted to discard it anyway, I might as well cast it. They're ahead of me on the clock now. Let's look for more lands here. Got one. So one thing about streaming, like I have a little bit more lag than they do. Sup, Corey Cool Cat? What it is, friend? What it is. They have to poop or get off the pot at some point, though. Yeah. Don't really care about the Gearhulk. We're down to 17 cards. I think I had some spell pierces that I never got traded, which makes me a little sad. Alright, we'll put that on top, that on bottom. I guess we'll keep this one because it can deal with the Gearhulk. Guess I'll cycle this. Well, that didn't help. Discarding a farmland, it looks like. Our opponent's down to 13 cards now, so our opponent just lost. Unless he has some way to shuffle his cards back. So I guess we'll find out the hard way in just a second. I guess he's got disallow triggers as well. Yeah, I gotta think about that. Sure. Go ahead and make him tap a bunch of mana. Okay. Using most of our mana next turn, so. Tis a disallow. We could be dead. Still have enough mana to use all 3 rivulets. Well then, I guess we're dead. He's gonna have another counterspell. He's only got 12 cards left. Us only finding 1 cast out in, or sorry, us only finding 2 cast outs in like our top 52-ish cards is what's gonna beat us this game. He'll certainly have another counterspell here. And we Dobbs. Don't really have an out. He's got another Gearhulk in his graveyard, so like none of our outs really work. What do you do? The beginning of their upkeep, so like one of these would have to resolve, and that's just not going to happen. Well, I thought everything was going to plan, and then we just like didn't hit our good cards. Getting Emblem doesn't do anything. He's got another Gearhulk in his graveyard, so. But he has a disallow and a torrential Gearhulk in the graveyard. He would have to play. He would have to play extremely bad for that to win. We needed one more cast out, and we needed it. I mean, we looked at almost every card in our deck. I could have paid for the Supreme Will, but again, he's got a Gearhulk and a disallow. I just don't want to use any more of my clock. He's got a Gearhulk in his graveyard to get a disallow. And he had 5 cards in hand. Like I don't want to use my clock because to win game 3 it could come to timing out. Pretty sure we put this card on the bottom, so we'd saw the last 2 cast outs we needed were in our bottom 6 cards. Like this game could come down to clock. I just want to press F6. So I cut the Dispel out of my sideboard, which is pretty disgruntling in this game. You guys are better than Fumigates. Don't need any of this stuff. Don't need most of this stuff. So we probably don't win this match since we no longer have Dispels or anything. Like, Scarab God's a pretty hard card for us to beat to begin with. It sounds bad, but fine. Like, we don't have to have the land for 3 turns, and we have 1 cycle if we have to have it. And they're not going to put any pressure on us early. The best they could do is like a Gifted Everborn, which isn't very impactful at all. It's going to come down to card advantage and lands. But I can't really mulligan to try to hit 3. Awkward. Yeah, I pressed F6 and it just wouldn't go. Alright, well. We missed on 3 draw steps. We missed on 4 draw steps, so I guess that's game. Very likely game. Missed on 5 draw steps now. And then we had to come into play tap land. Like, Gideon would have been a house there. We probably don't get to resolve a spell this game now. Alright, I guess we get to resolve a spell this game. I would be amazed to make a comeback in this game. Like, actual amazed. Don't know if it's possible. Kefnet. We have answers to Kefnet. We do not have answers to Kefnet in this board spot. Is less likely to attack with the Kefnet? Because he attacks with them either way. Yeah. He played around Blessed Alliance with every other attack but this one. That's just kind of awkward. Very, very odd. So there's no chance that our Glimmer resolves. No chance that our cat resolves. If this wasn't a streamed game, I would have already scooped. I wouldn't have bothered to waste anybody's time. Or I wouldn't bother to wasted my time to play this game after I missed a second land drop. And I probably played through the first one. Untap land? I guess we get to play some. Wonder what's in this hand that would ever make that the right play. Just has 2 of them? Oh. This has a Gearhulk. We don't care about a Gearhulk. I still don't think we can win. Like, I believe that was probably pretty bad of our opponent, and I think we're still pretty dead. I mean, we're still losing big time. He's ahead on lands and cards. He's ahead on lands and cards. One cast out towards the bottom. Got to keep that in mind. I don't feel that bad in this match. Like, it's a hard match, but I feel like we're a slight favorite in it. Very slight. He still has 6 cards in hand. Some world, I guess. That can't be right, can it? It can't be right. Like, there's very little chance that he doesn't have a way to stop the second approach. Lightning Strike's the card I'm excited about coming back to Standard. He's got a Torrential Gearhulk in his graveyard, so that's pretty much game. I'd have to hit like Descend into. I'd have to hit our last Descend and hit a negate off like 2 draw steps, and he'll not have a Dispel. Did not get there. That's what would have took. Alright. I guess I can cast a spell and let him counter it or whatever. But like, the game's over. Alright. Opponent doesn't want to kill us for some reason. There's pretty much no reason for him not to have just killed us. Guess we still die to that, but. Alright. Well, that's game 1 down. Or round 1 down. If you enjoyed the stream at all, make sure to click on a follow here and a follow on my YouTube channel and my Twitch channel, which you can find in the description below the Twitch stream. If you're watching on the YouTube, make sure to, do the little follow thing as well. And all the deck lists, all descriptions and everything are in the... All the deck lists, the links to the Twitch and the Twitter are all in the descriptions. And today just feels like a gloomy day. I guess I need to pull this up. People can see that last little land. Oh, sweet. Another blue-black deck. Not a blue-black deck. Is this new perspective? If this is new perspectives or whatever, we have no chance to beat it. This deck just cannot beat that deck. Hey, video. Big baby. Some kind of ramp deck, I guess? Is it worth counterspelling that? Probably not. We're going to counterspell it anyway. I feel like this is not worth it. Temur Black wouldn't have this cycle land. Or shouldn't have this cycle land. Cast out immediately makes us regret our decision of countering that. But it looks like we get another try at it anyway. This hand's kind of not going anywhere and not going there quick. We need to hit some of our glimmers and stuff. Not going anywhere and not going there quick. I think it's just new perspectives, in which case we just can't win ever. We don't care too much about that card, I don't think. Like, our deck is designed to beat mid-range creature decks like Temur and stuff. So if we're not getting paired versus a bunch of those, our odds go down significantly. Definitely new perspectives. And he discarded it. Hey, Joe Zero. You're probably not the only one, but considering I don't even know what that's referencing. Pretty sure this game's over, but I don't know enough about New Perspectives to know for sure. And on top of that, I believe that letting them combo at least once is good for the stream, so. Yeah, like I don't know what their combo is, so. I know who Garth Brooks is, but like that's probably a reference to some kind of song or something, and I have no idea what the song is. Pretty sure if you could request a song, that Garth Brooks would still be banned. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've been dead for a while. Again, I don't really know what his deck does though, and might as well sit here and look at it. The last three Shallow Graves could be the bottom three cards, and I think he could still get to them. So can he do infinite damage, or can he only do a finite amount of damage? They play Approach too? Oh, if they play Approach, the game's just over. Is Approach their only kill condition? Huh. Still on F6. He's going to have enough cyclers that this isn't going to beat him later anyway. We missed. Alright, he wins. Alright, well, I guess we want these things. I guess we don't want these things. You can attack. Pretty sure that I'm never casting you even if I draw you, but you can technically attack. Drakehaven. Still got cast outs for Drakehaven, I guess. Don't think I want Wraths for Drakehaven. Like, I'm still just trying to win with an approach, right? Might not even be able to cast an approach. If I tap out for a 7-mana sorcery, I probably just die. This hand's a lot better than last game's hand. And he's mana screwed. How many lands do they play? He needs to stop playing stuff in the second main phase. That's just aggravating. He taps his mana all awkward like he did last game, or like puts some cycling stuff all awkwardly like he did last game. There's a chance that like Summary Dismissal completely blows him out. Get kittied. The heck are you? Turn 2 creature cards? Yeah. Okay, whatever. It's a 3-turn clock and we have 2 counter spells. I assume it's hard to lose from here, but I guess they could have dispels or something. Meow meow. Still going to the second main phase is really aggravating me. I don't know what kind of removal and stuff they have, but I'm going to go after their land anyway. How many times are you going to make me click it? Sheffet monitor or something? Yeah. Yeah, whatever. You're still getting 7. Go Cats. Speaking of the lightning strikes, these guys are now the Thundercats. Wonder how the frames are doing today. They were dropping pretty badly yesterday. Not at all today. That's great. If I lose this game, this particular game, not match, but if I lose this game, I'm going to be pretty angry. You guys will see me lose my temper. I don't really lose my temper. Got Ricky dumb a lot, but don't lose my temper. So Drakehaven's probably a little better versus me on the play. Is there anything I would side out? No. I want the Linvalas. This hand seems okay versus most decks. Doesn't seem particularly good versus what we're playing against, but I still don't think I can mulligan it. I think I just have to keep it. They went to 5 cards. Or no, sorry, they stayed at 6 and they put on top. So their hand's likely better than our hand. So when they're on the play, they can just cast. They can just cast New Perspectives the turn I play Regal Caracal and I die. That seems pretty strong for them. Messing with their mana seems okay. Oh, I guess I can't. Rip, we're a land behind. I wasn't thinking about that. Using a cast out on this probably doesn't do anything anyway because of monitors and stuff. Yeah. Because of monitors and stuff. Cool. I guess we'll keep a counterspell. I'm gonna discard the Fumigate. Look how many counterspells they sideboard into. And if that number's high enough that we can just, or if that number's low enough that we can just get 14 mana and cast 2 approaches on the same turn. Sure. Can't really do anything about that stuff. Goodbye, extra Fumigate. We'll miss you. He has nothing in his hand that cycles at this point. That's probably a bad sign for us. And he missed a land drop. That's just awkward. How crazy is it if I just discard? How crazy is it if I just discard our approach? Is that completely insane? To just discard approach? I just want to discard approach. At some point I have to play something that I want to counterspell, right? So do they have any way to get these back if I counterspell all 4 of these? So they have 4 mana left? So we could just be dead? That was a mistake. I should have played Supreme Will. I'm going to need that negate. That was a mistake. Yep, 100% should have cast the Supreme Will. That's a pretty bad mistake, too. Well, I guess we want lands and we want negates, right? Our second Supreme Wheel doesn't do anything anymore, though. Certainly punted by not having two negates in my hand here. Be a hard game to lose if we had two negates. I was feigning the spell in my head when I like didn't do it, but I mean, does he getting those cards back kill me? I guess our Supreme Will doesn't do much else, does it? Eh, getting those cards back doesn't seem like it matters. I think we're just dead. Oh, he's just casting big boy, is he? Alright. That's his plan B then, I guess? Well, I guess since we can play 3 counter spells, we won't play the cat. I was originally going to play the cat. And then the dismissal changed my mind. Just casting 2? Alright, well, beating the second one's a lot harder than beating the first one. So is that all 4 monitors? I guess there's ways for him to get them back, right? See, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm 1 mana away from being able to play the cat and both of those. He could have more of some black card that he cycled in game 2 that I don't know what it's called. I guess the plan's playing the cat. Does he have a way to get this back out of the graveyard? Uh-oh. That card seems too good. So if he has a third New Perspectives, the game's just over. Third New Perspectives and the game's just over? Technically, they're about the same speed clock. Don't think we can win anymore unless we get incredibly lucky. We don't have another hard counterspell in our entire deck, so. They have 1,000,000 mana. There's no way the sensor does anything. We're just gonna like sit here for 5 minutes while they kill us. Well, that's the third shallow grave. I guess the last shallow grave could be on the bottom of their deck, and that would help. I doubt they play that shallow grave there, though. If that were the case. So we could always just draw another Reveille. Maybe they go too low. Kind of low on mana now. I guess I'll leave the sensor up to see what happens. I guess I have enough mana just to cycle the sensor later. Oh, they had a dispel. What am I supposed to do here? So they have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 mana. They only have access to one more shallow grave. I guess I'm not supposed to bother with the sensor. They'll probably have another negate, or I would say the approach could win for us next turn, but like that's how they're gonna win? They have a bunch of counter spells for that to be a way to win. I hear you, Spirit Chiller. It's been a while since I'd saw it as well. That's an instant. Four, five, six, seven. Alright, so that's an approach of the second sons. So if they have a negate, we lose. We just can't beat a negate. What are they tapping mana for? Really? Alright. So they didn't have a negate. But we have nothing, so. I don't think they would have used that card if they had a negate. So their approach is 6 cards down, and they can probably get to it and play it this turn. Now it's 5 cards down. Four. 3. 2. 1. So any cycler and they win. They have to have any cycler and 7 cards and they win. There we go. That's a game if they try for it. Yeah. That game went a lot different than I expected it to go. Alright, well, we're getting crushed today. Thank you for the new people in chat and the new followers. I appreciate it. If you care at all, there's a link to my Twitter and my YouTube down below that you can go follow as well. On the Twitter, you see every time I go live and all the deck lists I play. On the YouTube, you can see all the recorded videos we play. Also, if you're watching from the YouTube, there's a link to the Twitter, the Twitch, and the deck lists in every video. You Expired, Secret, Funny Mad Guy, Sarah, I don't know, I can't pronounce your names, I'm not even going to try. This is an easy mulligan. This hand's terrible. Alright. Luck's not been with us today at all. We've got paired versus 2 matches that seem to be miserable, and then we had the mulligan to 5 versus a match that's probably winnable. I mean, we don't know what he's playing yet, but I'm just assuming that it's Mardu when I see that card. Not Mardu. Alright, don't know what we're playing versus then. We're in the O2 bracket. We could be playing versus anything. It seems to be kind of like what we want to play versus, though. We always want to play versus like mid-rangey creature decks. They're playing this card, I assume they're a mid-rangey creature deck. Of course, we don't have lands, so who knows. That's a fun one. Yeah, the meta's kind of not good for approach at the moment. Sucks that we have to look for a land with this during our main phase. Don't think this is the type of match that we can typically lose, but I mean, you mulligan to 5 and then you have to give up your good cards to try to find lands is probably gonna go pretty bad for you. Don't know what he can get with his Nahiri. Well, not too worried about a Glorybringer. Pool's more godly. We have double Blessed Alliance, so there's a good chance that our Gideon survives next turn. So it depends on what he can get with the Nahiri. Oh, what a treat. The little Gideon that could. What is this card? Okay. We have been casted out. They have Angel Sanctums in their graveyard too, or in their deck too. That's probably not good for us. Don't really care if they embalm that. We have the Fumigate. I feel pretty good about this game if we'd had 2 more lands to start with. That card doesn't seem good here. Neither does that one. That one does, though. Oh boy, does that one. He didn't attack with that again. This game just went really well really quickly. Guess he could have a Bruna or something in his hand, and that would make the game pretty difficult. Another Glorybringer would kill the Gideon, but we can beat another Glorybringer just with our life totals, so. Bruna would be a hard one. This game definitely swung in a good manner fairly quickly. The old 7-turn clock versus the Brew. Little Gideon's doing work. Could get lucky and draw Glamour. That would get us an approach next turn. Could have cycled the farmland and looked for a counter spell, but I don't think we need to. Pretty sure if our opponent had just attacked with Blessed Alliance both games, we'd have lost. Or attacked with more creatures both times that we've cast Blessed Alliance, that we'd have lost. One time Glimmer? Or Supreme Will? Alright. We good, fam? Guess you're the bigger one. Oh, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. I should have used the Gideon on the Thalia because now the Archangel is going to flip. I wasn't really thinking because we win next turn regardless. I guess I won't even show him Immolating Glare then. But yeah, that was a play mistake. Because now flipping Avacyn would kill the Gideon out of our way. Well, I guess it wouldn't kill the Gideon, but... Or, I mean, it would kill the Gideon. But, like, killing the Gideon doesn't matter. I don't know what they're playing. I guess it could be Bruna finally. What's this card even do when it flips? Huh. So, nothing. We were right, though. They have Bruna in their deck. Guess that wasn't a hard call when they were playing Nahiri and went and got that other thing. Wonder if he just drew it or if he actually played around Censor the whole game. Who knows? Anyway, versus these little creature matches, I generally like these cards. They all seem like they do something. And I usually like trim on some of the removal, or sorry, some of the more expensive card draw spells. I don't really know if I want Descend though. Guess I have Bruna. Makes Descend a little better. Yeah, I probably don't care about Descend. The cats actually probably aren't that good either because they have Archangel Avacyn. It's hot garbage. Alright, well. We have decided it's hot garbage, I guess. Kinda want to counter spells. One sweet summary dismissal. Hey, Rain Soda, what's up, man? Been a couple days since I saw you around. They mulliganed. Hope you're having a good day. And they put on bottom. Hey, Rain Soda just followed me. Pretty sure you'd followed me at some other time before. Could have swore you'd followed me before. Guess we'll go ahead and get the sensors online. Yeah, it's going pretty good so far. I'd thought you'd followed before. I thought I'd saw it pop up on the old email. Alright, we'll get rid of one of these. I don't think we need both. Our hands looks like it's probably pretty stellar versus what he has. or what his deck is. Blue White Approach is a fun deck. Oh, that card's actually pretty cool. The meta shifted a little bit from it, and we're not doing as well as we used to, but like we're still having fun. I stream every day. I've streamed every day for like, I don't know, like 67 days in a row or something. What time I log on, that's a bit of a difference. I log on at random times. You just never know when you'll see me. I'm elusive. So just take a basic land. I don't need the colored sources from the farmland, and this lets any other prairie stream we draw come into play untapped. Guess he could have Avacyn here. No Avacyn. So his hand's just kind of epically weak, I guess. That card's not epically weak at all. That card's good enough for me to Supreme Will, even. No, I could get it to cast out, but I don't even want to give him one extra card. And if he had a land drop, he could get one extra card. My allergies seem to be bothering me today. I went for a little run earlier. It was probably a little too cold or whatever outside. This sensor seems incredibly less good now. Never mind. I take it back. The sensor was everything we ever needed and or wanted. After Meltdown does not. Wait. It definitely says target, doesn't it? Huh. I don't really know the answer to that. I think you can't have an enchantment on one, but I'm not sure. It's a fairly good question, though. Alright, we take a big hit. I only have one monitor, so I can't check right now, but I'll do some internet surfing a little later and send you a private message. Let me write myself a note. Because I kind of want to know myself, too. Oh, well, we got a match instantly. Again, thank everybody for the new follows, and if you want, you can go follow my Twitter to see every time I go live, or my YouTube to find all of the videos recorded. And also, if you're watching from the YouTube, a link to the Twitter, the Twitch, and every deck list is in the description. You can also type deck list in chat to see the 75 we're currently on, if you care. Game Trail, that's typically a good sign. It's a little worse if they're playing Pummeler, but if they're just playing Teamer, it's a positive match. In this format, positive matches are fairly close, so just because they could be playing Teamer doesn't mean we would like necessarily win or whatever, or necessarily lose for that matter, if they're playing a match that we're good versus. If they're playing Pummeler, it's a lot harder, especially if the draw we currently have. We have kind of a slowish draw. Yeah, the Allen, it's pretty good for us. We're very likely going to be casting Cast Out on turn 4, so I think it's pretty safe to go ahead and cycle that. Yeah, that's what I assumed, McLam, but I didn't want to say that for 100% sure, as I don't keep up with the rules and or read the rules. You generally take out the slower card draw spells like Hieroglyphs and some Supreme Wills. Just the slower ones in general. So we're probably going to have to find a Fumigate, or things are probably going to be very bad for us. We didn't find any Supreme Wills or any Sensors, so they can just resolve whatever. They do have a pretty good clock on us, though. Especially if they had like a Glorybringer right now. Us not having a spell before turn 4 was pretty poor. And you don't know, he could get himself in a nice little vehicle. He could buy him like a skyship or something. He never did pump the Longtusk Cub. But boys, we need a spell. We need a good spell. I say well boys. I should say well men, or not well men, or like well folks. I don't know. Either way, we have 5 cards to find a Fumigator. We're just dead. I guess we'll keep both of those. Alright, well, now we have to dodge a main deck negate. Some of these decks do play main deck negate, even though it's not super common. It's common enough that we lose to it occasionally, but like it's not super common. Double approaches might steal the game. He's got 6 cards in hand, so he has to have something fantastic. We don't really care about that one. That's worth 7 points of damage now, so... Even with a Longtusk Cub, it doesn't win. Or sorry, even with a Glorybringer, it doesn't win. This is worth 8 points of damage. My math is great. It is foil. That was a good chunk of damage. I like how we lagged up immensely there. Alright, so versus these decks, I like to bring in these 6 creatures. And usually when you're sideboarding, you just take out a lot of these more awkwardish card draw spells. I'm actually going to keep Little Chad, even though I think Supreme Will might be better than Little Chad. I just kind of want to test Little Chad. Nah, I'll test Little Chad on the play. I want my Supreme Wheels on the draw. Can't bring myself to. Sorry, James. It's still not really dropping any frames, so that's kind of nice. We have a Fumigate. We have a turn 2 removal spell that we can't play on turn 2. Still think it's a keep, and he mulliganed. If his hand's weak, we even have to cast out the cycle. You scry on top? Yeah, you scry on top. Untap land? Acceptable. So, Rogue Refiner is the best card he could have. That card's a close second. Bristling Hydra or Chandra would be nice here for him. Yeah, Servant's not that great, but... I think I probably should have cycled the cast out on that last turn, because if he has a... Sorry, not cycled the cast out, but I should have just like played it. Maybe during his upkeep step. That way I wouldn't be tempted to get rid of his Longtusk Cub. Or I probably should have cycled it so I could Glimmer on this turn, either or. Okay. We have a Limvala for a follow-up. That's a good one, though. I want the land more than I want anything, so... Guess we'll keep both. I like it when the top of your deck's like, I think you want these 2 cards. Alright, here, you can have these 2 cards. I'm actually going to let him go through the blocks to try to use his energy this time. I think he's more likely to use it on this than he was the Longtusk Cub. He's just refused to do it on a Longtusk Cub every other time, but I still should have gave him the option last turn. Like, just assuming he'll do one thing isn't correct. I should have gave him the option. It's kind of like a loose play, but I tend to play a lot looser when I feel like the game's over. Not that this game's over or anything, like, he could still win. I felt very far ahead, though. 6 cards after the draw step. Just takes one, just takes one annoying negate, though, for this to still be a game. So the question is, he's not had a negate the entire game. Do we worry about a negate now? Just probably not going to worry about a negate. See, he doesn't kill me in 2 attacks anyway, does he? I guess he does kill me in 2 attacks. Casting a chump blocker doesn't feel like it does much. Alright. Yeah. I can get the life if I wait till next turn. And he may tap his blue mana or something. So that's 10. Yeah, I'll just put both on top then. Make him show us a negate. He could easily have one, but still have a Linvala to get us some turns next turn. And the next thing's 3 cards down. So, like, we probably get there anyway. Between the Linvala as a blocker, the Linvala gaining us 5 life, and a cast out to hit a second spell. Alright, well, mid-rangey green decks. That's what we want to play versus. Alright, anyway, back to the screen. If you're in chat, if you're in the Twitch chat, you can click follow or look at the links below the stream. And on the links below the stream, you can find my Twitter channel. My Twitter shows all the deck lists I play every time we go live. You can also find a link to my YouTube, which has all the videos currently posted. And if I ever learn how to edit videos, they'll have content on it that's not from the stream. If you're watching from the YouTube, below every video in the description is a link to the Twitch, the Twitter, and the deck list we're playing. Sup, Steve? What are you into today, man? Trying to crush us a pity chest. This sounds fine. We'll go ahead and keep this. Wait, what? It's not rip. Everything's going well. We're happy. The day couldn't be going better. Our opponent mulliganed. They put on bottom. That's probably bad. That's not a mid-rangey green deck at all. That's a go over the top green deck. We don't do well versus what typically has a fortified village. That doesn't mean that's what he's playing. But if he's ramp's one of our harder matches. We're currently 2-2, Scooter. We got paired versus Blue-Black Scarab God Control, and we got crushed. And then we got paired versus New Perspectives, which we just can't beat. Then we beat Teamer, and we beat like some kind of like little Nigh mid-rangey deck. The little Nigh mid-rangey deck looked pretty sweet, but it's like kind of off meta at least. And like, I don't want him to have that, but it gives us something to do with the cast out. I want to save my Supreme Will to hit the Hour of Devastation, or the Hour of Promise, because the Hour of Promise is a lot more relevant. He gets a card, which sucks, but oh well. If I knew we were going to draw that Censor, we'd have just Supreme Willed it and not give him his card. A Fumigate. I guess he's trying to empty his hand for a Seagate Wreckage? is in fact trying to empty his hand for a Seagate wreckage. I don't think that'll come into play and or matter. Let's see what we find with this. Well, we'll take the approach. Any order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess we'll just look for a land then. Try to hit lands over the next several turns. I'm not worried about that killing us, so. Well, it's a land, but it's not the land we wanted. Any land's better than no land, though. That land's much better than any land. Yeah, what do you mean the Twitch client? So I finally got Magic Online up and running, played my first sealed tournament and went 6-3. That's pretty nice, man. Yep, them just killing our lands is what beats us. The fact that we don't have double white kind of sucks as well, but if they just have a couple World Breakers, we will never win. It's one of the downsides of this deck. Cast out gets Weirding Wood back? Sure. Can't do anything about that, really. So we have some percentage chance to win next turn. Like if we hit an untapped land off the Censor, we would win next turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's start with the cycle. That puts us at 5 cards. That's not an untapped land. Alright, so we'll take the damage and then we'll just immediately put whatever 4 cards on the bottom, and then we draw an approach. So we have more white cycling spells left in. No, we have more. Let's see, 2, 4. We have 4 white cyclings, or 3 white cycling spells, 4 blue cycling spells. So we'll leave up a blue mana. Yeah, I'm not worried about things like that. Guaranteed goes to the bottom unless it just happens to be another approach. And we hit our land, and we're drawing approach for the turn. So, like, we didn't need the land unless he had a way to kill the land, which obviously he didn't when he tapped down. I don't know why I was doing such hard math. I was trying to think of, like, what cards we could cycle next turn to get it, but that was just stupid. Anyway, so we stole a game versus blue-white, or versus green-white ramp, which is one of our harder matches. We definitely want all of our counter spells in this match. We definitely want our Regal Caracols in this match. The Regal Caracols can usually not win, but like if they get like awkward draws, they can sometimes win. Cards that we don't want. We don't really want the Blessed Alliances. We don't really want the Fumigates. We would rather have the Descends because they can get rid of a World Breaker forever. But for the most part, this match is just pretty poor. All they have to do is hit land drops and kill our lands and we win. This hand's kind of interesting. We have double approach and a glimmer, which is some of the cards that we typically need to win. We're going to try it. It's extremely slow, but we have 4 turns to hit a 4th land, and again, the biggest thing is like getting counterspells to counterspell their ramp doesn't really do a lot. If they just hit their land drops, they win regardless of their ramp spells or not. It looks like they've got a good draw going. Got a second cat. Hour of Promise on turn 3 or 4. Maybe. Yeah. Well, don't beat this draw ever. Because they could just not have an Eldrazi. We could beat them not ever drawing an Eldrazi. But if they have any Eldrazi at all, we pretty much can't win. So 7 mana, they could just go ahead and play it if they have it. Oh, well, that's a lot more than 7 mana. They tap that for colorless. Rip. Sure. What they hit? They hit lands. Yeah, well, we can beat what we see. It's the, as long as they don't have a land killing Eldrazi, we're not in that bad of a shape. As odd as it looks. Just want all of our lands. As soon as they play an Ulamog or something, we can scoop, but we can do that any game. Yeah. That's for sure, man. Okay. We don't care about what he just did. At all. Just double block these things. We're just going to cast a second cat next turn, so we're not really worried about killing that or our life total. We're worrying about getting something off the board. Another hour of promise. They don't draw an Eldrazi. We're in decent shape. Like, we're not likely to die to damage without them killing our land. Looks like they're going to do the Saki thing on the zombies again. Or the shelf, which is fine. We take 2 damage. And we need to hit our land. Yeah, 2 draw steps to hit an untapped land, though. Providing he doesn't have an Eldrazi. If he has an Eldrazi, it's over. It's his own cat. Oh, we have a Descend, too. No, we didn't hit the land. We did hit the land. We're probably still dead now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, we're still dead. 13, 14, 15, 16. And he uses a second one of these. 17, 18, 19, 20. Yep. Have to make him see it, though. Maybe he won't see it. He can deal over 20 damage, though. He's got like... He can give +9, I think? No. He can do 19. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep, it's 19 exactly. So the 1 point of damage we had to take from this killed us this game. But that's fine. It's going to happen sometimes. We actually lost a game they didn't play an Eldrazi. That's kind of impressive. Or didn't play a land killing Eldrazi. Alright, so if he's bringing in the cats, we'll probably bring in some fumigates. Probably get rid of our own cats then. And we're back on the play, so getting to approach is a little easier. Well, this hand's obviously a mulligan. Alright, well, we get to keep this hand at least. Not a good sign, boys. This hand's not very good. I only care about really using the Supreme Will on Hours of Promise. I don't care as much about trying to hit one of his 3-mana ramp spells because he's got a million of them. So if he doesn't play in Hours, we can cast the Hieroglyph here. Gonna have to hope that he doesn't have an Oblivion Sower, though. That's something that we can never deal with. At least this game's going incredibly fast. It's not a Sower. Well, I guess it still could be. Alright, he can have that one. Alright, well, he ramped really well there. Summary Dismissal is a good draw. Wouldn't mind to draw our other Summary Dismissal. She's tapping for mana and not colorless mana. Kind of odd. Guess it could just be a giant walking ballista. Okay, never mind. He's going back and changing the way he tapped his lands. Do you know he has a big spell in his hand? He wasn't just bluffing that unless it was walking ballista. Oblivion Sower. I believe we still have to counterspell that, right? Maybe we can ignore that one. Him getting more lands doesn't seem like it matters. None of that stuff cycles. He got 2 lands when we were trying to hit lands and we got none. That's disappointing. We did hit a second Summary Dismissal though, so that's kind of cool. Depends on what he has going on now. Alright, well, we have to use the Dismissal. Come on, deck. Not being able to hit lands kind of sucks. Oh god, yeah. That's pretty unfortunate, man. Well, if he ever draws Ulamog, we're just dead. Land? Alright, well, we hit a land. So, we have some outs now, I guess. We're not just dead to a lot of things. I assume if he plays an Ulamog now, he probably kills the Gideon. But if he just gets 2 lands, we have some outs. Of course, it's an Ulamog. He has to draw 3 of his Eldrazi in his top 20. That's pretty lucky. Alright, well, do we miss on our land or not? That is the question. We did not. I guess attacking doesn't really do anything. If he has a second Ulamog, we can't win. Gotta be honest, if he has a second Ulamog, I'll get tilted. Nah, I won't really get tilted. Don't care about the cat. Cat doesn't do anything. Alright, so it's 5 cards down now. So we can just play for the Glimmerwind. I think if we're going to do that, it's better to try to hit the land during our upkeep, or during our main phase to play. That way we can still have the opportunity to play one next turn. Alright, so the top card of our library is an Approach. Does he get there? Does he kill another land, or do we win? Knowing our luck, he'll kill 2 lands. Alright, so we can beat Oblivion Sower. Obviously, top decks an Ulamog. And that's game, I guess. Alright, well, we don't want the Approach anymore. So we gotta try to find a cast out now. None of those are a cast out. So how many lands are we gonna have next turn? We're not gonna have enough to cast a Supreme Will and look for a cast out. That was such a annoying top deck. Gotta be a cast out. Yeah, we lose. We don't have any outs now, do we? I feel like we were pretty far ahead that game. Like, we beat double World Breaker and 1 Ulamog. It was the 3rd Ulamog that beat us. Can't be an opponent that draws that well. We have no chance, James. Both of our Descends is going and we're dead on board. Definitely an annoying way to lose. We're supposed to lose to that match regardless, but like, to lose to a top deck's kind of tilting. I don't think he had the first Ulamog either. I think he, actually think he hit both of those Ulamogs. Anyway, so that was another fell league with Blue-White Approach because the meta is very terrible for it, looks like right now.